Dum da dum da dum da dum da da da. Dum da dum da dum da dum da 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 da. To the room, passing out $100 bills, and it kills and it thrills like the horns on my Silverado grill. And I buy the bar a double round of Crown, and everybody's getting down in this town. Ain't never gonna be the same, 'cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise 'cause the girls, they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old stud Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody says, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Well, I don't give a dang about nothing. I'm singing and bling-blinging while the girls are drinking. Long necks down, and I wouldn't trade old Leroy or my Chevrolet for your Escalade or your freak parade. I'm the only John Wayne left in this town. And I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise 'cause the girls, they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old stud Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody says, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Thoroughbred, that's what she said in the back of my truck bed as I was getting buzzed on suds out on some backcountry road. We were flying high, fine as wine, having ourselves a big and rich time, and I was going just about as far as she'd let me go. But her evaluation of my cowboy reputation had me begging for salvation all night long. So I took her out gigging frogs, introduced her to my old bird dog, and sang her every Willie Nelson song I can think of, and we made love. Then I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise 'cause the girls, they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old stud Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Aloma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For all he's worth here on this outside line, neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron, drag race to the line. It's so close to call. Talladega. This one is a total minefield. But I've got it under control, because only one driver
has wanted this track more than me. And we had the same name. You're all probably wondering, how did we figure it out? It's simple. This is Earnhardt country.
All right, welcome race fans to first broadcast back in a while. We're here at Talladega with the Wagoner Welding 150. We'll be doing 75 laps tonight here with the Ruff-Neck Truck Series, sponsored by Wagoner's Welding. We're going to have a little bit of an early broadcast in the race tonight. Matt Ace Barker was racing with us last week. Sadly, didn't get a chance to broadcast, so we're going to give him the chance to join us in the broadcast booth tonight. Barker, how are you doing tonight, man?
Hey, feeling pretty good.
That's good to hear. So, little issue with the broadcasting last week, so we wanted to give you the chance to come up in the booth, answer some of those broadcast questions when you win a race. So, last week at Iowa, pretty good run for you. How was the car feeling during the race?
Truck felt fast last week. One of our best runs all season for sure. Strategy played a big part of that. Late race caution, but the strategy I used is what put me in the position to grab that win there.
So with tonight not being a points race, but we're racing really hard tonight. We're gonna have some good track battles. What are you looking forward to here tonight at Talladega?
Patience. It is a long race, and you got to find you a buddy out there for sure to work with to be fast. So just looking to have a good, clean race. Try to avoid the big one if it were to happen, and just patience and finding a good teammate.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, the most important thing when it comes to interview, who do you want to thank for last week's win there at Iowa?
Definitely want a big shout out and big thanks to James Wagner's Welding for all he does for us. I'd like to thank Mag Real Estate for coming aboard this season with the sponsorship that he puts to us. And just all my teammates, the practice that we put in. I do want to dedicate last week's win to a special friend of mine. Her name's Susan Hess. She lost her father a few weeks ago, so definitely want to dedicate last week's win to her.
Well, it's good to hear, man. Sorry for her loss, and I hope she's watching tonight. Prayers
Yeah,
are
she
with
should.
you.
Hopefully, I think she's watching tonight, so maybe she'll bring me some luck again tonight. We'll have a back-to-back win in the trucks.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck tonight. I'll put you back up with your teammates, and hopefully see you in the winner's circle back-to-back weeks.
Hey, thank you, guy. Appreciate you.
Of course. All right, guys. So, as we talked about, we're here at Talladega tonight. We're going to be doing a lot of laps here. 75 is a real aggressive race. We're just finishing up some practice, so those times that you guys are seeing up on the left-hand side, we're just finishing up. We got about 7 minutes here left of practice. A lot of teammates out there, a lot of non-teammates trying to find someone to work with tonight. I think the biggest thing that we're looking for tonight is just make sure everyone's there at the end. These guys only have one fast repair. So if you guys are watching, feel free to comment. I got my little chat box up, and I'll make sure to make it a little more lively. When we go green flag, you guys will see something a little different tonight. We've got a gentleman by the name of Mickey DeVino possibly making his last race with us, and hopefully it's not so. Hopefully we get to see him a few more times, but definitely want to give him the chance to come and chat with us tonight. So, Mickey, here at Talladega, man, 75 laps. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm racing with the big boys tonight.
Well, Mickey, we know that 8 car, man. You're always there at the end a little bit, and you finish out the races. Do you think you can get to the front tonight and stay up there and hopefully get the win? Oh, we're having a little hard time hearing you. So, question was again there, Mickey. Got any concerns about the truck tonight? You think you can make it up to the front and win this thing?
The truck can make it to the front. Don't you worry about that. That's a Ford. A Ford. The Lord drove a Ford.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck to you tonight, Mickey, and hopefully we see you in the winner's circle tonight so we can interview you all over again.
I'd like that, and so will our sponsors. Bye now.
Yep. All right, guys, we're gonna get Mickey back up in his Discord chat so he can hang out with his buddies up there. And well, like I said, welcome to Talladega. Should be a fun one tonight. We'll make sure we get the right screens up for you. A little bit of race info up on the graphic. Looks like it's gonna be a little hot tonight. Track temp's gonna be pretty cool. We got a 2-mile-an-hour breeze. No points on the line. All win. All the glory in the world. I see in the chat we're looking for Jimmy Pylan to maybe make some moves tonight and make his way to the front. Let's see if he's out on track right now. I don't believe he is, but no worries there. We'll catch him during the race plenty of times. So basically the thing that we're looking for tonight, make sure these guys get a little bit of a break during the points races. They chose Talladega, so we didn't really hurt anybody in the points throughout the season. These Ruff-Neck guys, they run Monday nights as their Gen 6 series, and then we got the Wagoner's Welding truck series here on Wednesday nights. You got the Chevy, Ford, Toyota. Couple things I want to bring up tonight was a little bit of history here we got at Talladega. So, originally, Dick Brooks, this was his only win at the track. So, in 1973, Dick Brooks finally got a win in the Cup Series, and it happened to be his only win. Buddy Baker won 3 straight here. He actually set the record until Dale Jr. broke it in 2003, and he ended up winning 4 straight at this track. Davey Allison's first race came at this track in 1985. On July 28th, same race, Cale Yarborough would go on to win the race. And January 23rd, 1990, Patty Moyes would break her own speed record by going 217 miles an hour around Talladega. Pretty crazy statistics right there. 217 miles an hour. I can't even fathom, like, when you are in the sim, you feel like you're going fast, but realistically, it's just nothing compared to actually being in the car. Let's see here if we can get some more on-track practice. We got our buddy Mickey over here in turn 3. See if we can get some good camera angles of his car tonight. Eric Church, honestly, I was thinking about making our intro, the Eric Church song, but every time I kept playing it on YouTube, it would copyright strike, and don't want to do that, or we won't have a broadcast next week. So, but yeah, love Eric Church. I love that song, and it's so fitting for this track. I remember the first time it came out, it was crazy because there was so many wrecks in that race, and if anybody remembers, the year that song came out, at Talladega, only 10 cars in the whole field hadn't been in an accident. It was insane. Crazy. So, just a shout out for everybody watching tonight. I used to broadcast quite a bit. I'm back to broadcasting, hopefully a little more full-time than I was before. If we have any issues throughout the stream, call it out. If it looks too blurry, if you guys want it to look a little better, we can make things work while we're broadcasting here. Just want to make sure we're giving the best we can to you guys throughout the race. So appreciate you guys watching from wherever you are. We'll make sure we make some rounds around the track tonight. Michael Bollinger out there in the 03 car running some practice laps with Mickey. See what we got. We got Dale over here running some laps in the 746 car, trying to keep it. Little car on the inside, on the apron. trying to make sure that he doesn't clear me. We've got Jeff Scott behind him. 45 will be Dalton Steele, trying a little bit of outside action. So if you guys don't know, iRacing did a little bit of updates with these trucks. So they get really, really aero loose in a pack. And if someone gets turned, these cars will actually flip in the air at a super speedway. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. So, well, we're going to be starting qualifying here in about 10 to 15 seconds. We're going to roll a quick little commercial I got for you guys, and then we will be back to on-track action.
Ruff-Neck-Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
All right, and we are back for qualifying. We will get as many people as we can on the camera as they come out of pit road. Looks like Daniel Love, Steven Shue, and Chris Ramsey will be the first few that'll take to the track tonight for some qualifying. Realistically, you're looking for that fast lap on lap 1. Second lap, not really doing anything for you. Maybe a little bit of solo practice, but once these guys get to the race, it's not very helpful to get that extra practice. I've seen a few people in the past maybe getting that faster lap on the second lap, but you really got to save those tires through the first lap to make it happen. As you guys see here, Daniel Love going to the high lane. If he does it correctly, he'll go all the way to the tri-oval, and then he'll almost dip halfway through the tri-oval to get the run off the hill. Big banks at Talladega, especially on this tri-oval. They get a little bit of banking, and he should drop to the bottom lane here. Hopefully not all the way to the yellow line. Went all the way to the yellow. That's going to hurt him a little bit. What you like to do is fade all the way to where your outside tires are on them white lines. So we'll come back. We'll check Daniel Love's. And on the left side, you guys should see a ticker. Should tell us some qualifying times as we're coming across. Got James Wagner out here getting his laps squared away in that baby bright blue car tonight with the Cosmic Brownies paint scheme on there. If you guys haven't had Cosmic Brownies, missing out. Go to Walmart. They're like $1.99 a box. They say we are under inflation, but I can tell you right now, they have not changed the price of those brownies. See who else we got in the field. Matthew Barker, Mr. Ace himself. He'll be running the double scheme tonight. So on the left side of that truck, he has a good old Goodwrench paint scheme. Throwing it back to good old Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator. And on the right side, the son of the great Dale Earnhardt himself. We got Junior on the right side with the Budweiser scheme. Hopefully we can see Ace get to the front in that scheme. It'd be an awesome car to show during the interview. Make our rounds here. Looks like Daniel Love's got the first lap, official lap going around the track. So holding the pole position so far. He's got about three 100s, and Barker himself makes it 1/100th lap to the pole on Daniel Love. John Houston's out for his lap. Looks like he already completed his first one, so we're not too worried. He's probably not going to improve the time there. Jeff Scott going into turn 3 in that 38 truck. Full on Little Debbie's cafeteria. You know, I always thought if they would have sold those in the schools, they might have been a little more popular than the lunch ladies. I don't think the lunch lady brownies were very safe. So, all right, we got Jeff Scott passing the start-finish line here. See if he's putting down a lap. And it's going to be good enough for second place. He is 2/100ths of a second off of pole position. See if we got anybody else here on a competitive lap. Larry Fairman in the 13 truck tonight. Got that Quanta. He hasn't put it down his first lap yet, so this one should count. Maybe a little too high through 3 and 4. Coming through 3 and 4. Let's see what he gets here. And I got some pretty new little cameras here through the tri-oval. We're going to try them out tonight, so let's see what he gets here. Larry Fairman, pretty close field, everybody. So all the way up to about 10th place, only separated by 24 100ths of a second. So Bollinger looked like he was a little slow on his qualifying lap, but qualifying doesn't mean too much here. We got a lot of cautions to make up for that time. Hopefully a little bit of cleaner racing tonight. Wasn't too bad on Monday. I think Monday we only had about 3 or 4 cautions. So hopefully these guys can keep it clean throughout the race and put on a show for everybody watching tonight. So Jason Kinney coming across for his first lap. This should be a countable lap. Oh, maybe he's trying something else tonight. So he must be starting his first lap of qualifying because there was no registration for his qualifying time. So we should see him coming across the backstretch here. And we will follow along with him down the backstretch into turn 3 and see if he can hold that line. I don't know if starting in the high lane was the best option for him in this situation, but I mean, maybe he knows something we don't know. Maybe it goes a little faster. So let's see what he gets here. Going through the tri-oval, hitting the bottom. A little different than everybody. He's right on that double yellow line coming across the Geico sign. First lap should be done here, and let's see where it puts him. It'll put him in 10th. He's 12 100ths of a second behind pole. Field is really close tonight. Really, really close tonight. Mike Adamson should be posting a time here in just a second. Maybe, yep. So Adamson will be starting in 12th as of now. And I do not see anybody else on track besides him and Jason Kinney. So looks like we're going to have about 6 or 7 folks that are not going to put down a qualifying time. Probably starting the back here. As a reminder, number 8 will be starting on the pole, Mickey Davino. We need a .05. Is that in a lap time? Do we need a .05 lap time? Because if you can show me how to do that, whew, man, rocket cars over in the Bonneville Flats of Salt Lake. No one would be able to stand a chance. Throughout the night, if you guys hear me coughing or anything, a little bit of lung issues up here in Idaho. Got a lot of burning around us, so we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Let's see. Maybe I think we don't got enough time. I don't think anybody's got fresh laps to get a 0.3 of a second off there, but you are correct. We're all the way up to 11/10. It's pretty crazy, man. Pretty close field. We're missing 0.8 of a second though. We are missing 0.8 of a second. Looks like
okay,
Adamson did move to the pole.
Tell me mine's working.
So let me make sure that we can get this radio off for you guys, so you guys aren't hearing chitter chatter the entire race. There we go.
There was a race last night. Nobody told me.
Well, it is being a little weird. Let's see.
What's up, Johnny?
Easy fix. Easy fix. We just go to this and
I don't do Tuesdays. I only do Mondays.
all right, that should save us a little bit. You guys might hear a little bit of race control in the background, but Control Alt Delete. Maybe we hit Alt Tab and you guys can see the windows the entire race. You can hear him a little bit in the background, so I am gonna go back to changing this. So sorry for the issues. Let's see. All right. And if I could see it better, but we could probably go to this. There we go. Now we can see. All right. We want to make sure you guys in the audience aren't hearing too much of the chatter. So. All right. And we'll shrink this. Oh, if you guys don't know how to do that, Control page up, page down, shrinks and increases the size of your screen. That's how I got my nice little iRacing logo on the right hand side. So qualifying should be wrapping up here in just a moment. So let's see here. Make sure you guys are all squared away with drivers coming off of pit road. So you're a wizard, Harry. Yeah, you know, the glass, I'm just missing the mark, man. If I had the lightning bolt and you saw a picture of me, definitely it would be Harry Potter. That would actually be a pretty cool broadcast idea. We might have to make that happen. So, ooh. Let's see here. Oh, we're waiting on these guys to finish up qualifying. We got about 15 seconds left. We'll get our pull award all squared away and then make sure that we... Good tat idea. It is, man. I'm actually glad you brought that up. Pretty cool tat idea. I don't know how the military would feel about it, but, you know, that's a post thing that I could do when I get out. Is maybe hit that up. So we're gonna hit you guys up with the grid here. We've got Mike Adamson starting in second, Stephen Shue third, John Houston fourth, Jeff Scott fifth, Barker is starting in sixth, Love seventh, Wagner eighth, Pylon ninth, Ramsey 10th, Jace Kinney is gonna start in the 11th. Mickey Davino will find himself all the way in the pole position. And we'll round out the rest of the field all the way to 19th, 20th, me and Tim Richardson and Chad Hawkins. Let's see here. Bring that race info back up for you guys tonight. 78 degrees during the race, 45 humidity, partly cloudy, so it shouldn't get too hot on the rubber. And 2-mile-an-hour winds going on tonight. Our pole award will be awarded, though, to the man himself. And we will make sure that we get a great camera angle of this man. Let me just find a good stuff right here. Michael Adamson himself has won himself a nice little pole award presented by Flieger Farm Television. Our buddies over there, really good guys. Really good broadcasting. They cover our Monday night stuff. So if you guys get a chance, make sure you go check them out. Leave them a little hello from the Shat Man himself and let them know that you guys are around for the Wednesday race. Maybe you guys will see us in a broadcast booth shortly together and we can surprise you guys with some fun commentary. So pole position goes to Mike Adamson tonight. The number 33 truck, and if we are correct, he should be giving that position up to the 8, but we'll see if Mickey gets up here. He was having a hard time understanding what we were trying to do for him, so looks like we might have some issues coming off of pit road tonight. Go back and see what happened here. Yep, just looks like a kerfuffle in front of him, so nothing too terrible. Let's see. Maybe just some extra bumping. A little bumping. They're just practicing their bump drafting a little bit. Never hurt anybody. So, we'll get this tower back. Hang on, we're not going green. We are going to delay. And we are going to use this opportunity to find out the hiccups as we go, right? So, big thing we just found out. We don't want a spotter all race. So, these are a good thing to figure out as we're going. Like I said, first time back in a while, so want to make sure that we give you guys the best broadcast possible, especially visually. I'd love to give you guys an awesome broadcast visually. So we're going to pop this bad boy off, and we are going to go back to the NASCAR tower. So if you guys have anything you want to chat about in the chat tonight, feel free to do so. Looks like they did get Mickey up to the front tonight, so that was why they delayed the green. Let him get up front. So our new pole sitter tonight will be Mickey in that yellow and green Ford, who's very intimate. Let him know that he is a lover of the Ford. many of you might not know, Mickey is fighting a good fight with some health issues, so this may be the last time that we see him. Hopefully not. Hopefully he's here to tell the story and rock and roll with us. So looks like they're going to let him roll to the back. We'll see. Nope, they decided to let him take the pole tonight. So he's not going to take up that he's not going to let go of that opportunity. So he's going to start us off here at the good old Talladega. See what we can get for you guys on this. Got a good field tonight. So looks like we're going to be starting with about 20, maybe 3 starting from the pits tonight. So pretty good starting lineup there. Maybe those guys in the back will figure it out. So, get some better camera angles here. There we go. Boom. I got a new camera stuff that we got going on. So we're trying to get that all figured out for you guys. Looks like we got a little bit of a blinker up front. Don't know. Might be the 28 truck. Someone's falling back, mixing up the grid a little bit. So, but this first lap we'll leave it silent and let you guys go on board with these guys and hopefully have a fun time. So. Looks like Nicky DeVino did make it all the way around in first place. He's got good old shoe above him in the second line. DeVino pushed here by the 3 car. Obviously, it's going to be the 96 truck tonight. But he is running that 3 and 8 as Mr. Barker pushes DeVino, keeping him in front of the field. Looks like we do have a 3rd lane brewing behind Jason Kinney in the 66. 3 abreast. Does look like James Wagner did make it to the 3rd spot on the bottom lane. Turn it down just a little bit for you guys. Got a good race brewing here though. Looks like the top lane is going to try and get formed up and start a bottom and a top. Only looks like we've got about 3 in the middle lane with Shu, Scott, and Chris Melton himself. We got a 4th attaching in the Klondike truck. Looks like we're 3 abreast going pretty good. No issues yet. Looks like these guys in the back are trying to find out if they want to hang out in the front or not. Might have a little bit of the Home Depot car going back. Man, I keep forgetting that we're in trucks. It's so weird. You call them a car, you call them a truck. Who knows at this point, man? But looks like the 8-on-8 right there pushing Vino still in that first place. Pretty good racing up front, though. Doesn't look like anybody's made any contact quite yet. So hopefully that'll continue. Does look like the third lane may have kind of dispersed. Maybe a little bit cleaner racing throughout. Try not to push it too soon. See what we got going on here in the back a little bit. First getting a little loose coming in. Trying to find a lane here in the back. All right, looks like he's gonna find himself on the bottom and just maybe sit tight here behind Dale Adamson. Not try to push the luck too much. You got the 71 and Daniel Love. Better get down to the bottom lane and catch this draft so he doesn't fall out of it. Once you hit about a second and a half in this track, you will fall out of the draft. So. As these guys continue to race side by side, 3 lanes. Does look like Jeff Scott has taken over to the 3rd lane in the front of Jason Kinney. Does look like Shu is having a hard time keeping his partners behind him. Maybe Chris Melton's just a little too anxious to push this early into the race. Doesn't want to cause an early caution. We are 6 laps into the race. Getting a little squirrely, about 4 or 5 lanes back, but looks like they got it corrected. So that is always good to see. Want to make sure these guys aren't forcing the issue too early in the race. I always tell these guys when I'm racing with them on Mondays, the race doesn't start till you're at least halfway through. So does look like Jeff Scott is trying to get that lane formed behind him. So hopefully they can get that figured out soon. Jason Kinney might have tapped the wall just a little bit there. Doing pretty good though. Looks like we got at least 4 trucks in every lane. Guys in the back just trying to sit comfortably here. Yeah, 71 running that old scheme, man. You know, I was really sad to see that Hooters didn't move on with Chase Elliott and continue the sponsorship, but I mean, maybe they were selling enough wings. Everyone goes to Hooters for the wings, right? I'm not the only one that's gone crazy on that. So, as of right now, though, it does look like we do have a biggest mover of the race. And right now, that truly belongs to Chris Ramsey. So what we're going to do, we're going to ride on board with him in that 13 Ford. As we continue green here, does look like we're kind of holding the form here. They are staying about 3 wide, but looks like enough guys are giving each other space in this race to make sure that they're not causing any incidences early in the race. We have not lost any drivers yet in this race, so it does look like they're keeping it pretty clean, keeping it in the draft. I do not see a second lane yet, so it does look like all 17 trucks that did take the race are in this pack. So want to make sure that these guys are keeping it good. So well, these guys make my job easy. I just announce where they're at during this race, and they keep it clean, and we're all good to go. Does look like James is making his way up. He has stayed in that bottom lane in the third spot down there, but it does look like it is working for him. I do know in the Gen 6 cars the other night that the middle lane was rocking and rolling. These trucks might be a little different just with a little less speed. I don't know what's going on yet, though. Maybe James is just hanging back, making sure that he doesn't get caught up in anything, but it does look as if the Mickey and Barker might be trying to make a run for things on some of these straightaways. We do get them catching about the backstretch, but it does look like in the corners they do get a little bit of a push. So I do know that Barker wants to make sure that Davino gets every opportunity tonight to win this race. On the last lap, it's all fair game, but if he can push this man all the way to the checkered flag tonight, I think everybody would be okay with that. So, like I said, it doesn't look like there's anything crazy going on yet. If I can find my mouse and show you guys some more places to view this from, we could have a good time tonight. Let's see here. I haven't tried this camera, so good luck, everybody. Okay. Just looks like a normal drone cam. It's not really doing anything for us. So, want to make sure that we're rolling through the field. So, that's what I think we're going to do right now. We're going to take this opportunity to roll through the field, call out some of your favorite drivers. Make sure you guys see all their paint schemes tonight. So, let's go on board with that. And we will hit it first with our man in first place, Mr. Mickey Davino, and the Ford. Holding that spot strong, has led every lap of this race. Second place right now, we got Steven Shue guiding that middle line. Good old man's from one of my favorite places to ever watch a NASCAR race in North Wilkesboro. Barker himself pushing the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mickey Davino. He is from Roaring River, NC. He's one of our guys over here at Ruff-Neck. If you guys are ever interested in running over here at Ruff-Neck, make sure you guys check out the Facebook page, Ruff-Neck-Racing, and they will have a sign-up tab on there, and it'll guide you through the way. Mr. James Wagoner himself, also. It is, let's refresh this bad boy. Make sure we're getting the right info. So Mr. James Wagoner driving that Chevy here, third lane, kind of sticking behind here Barker and Mr. Davino. Jeff Scott, currently sitting in the fifth spot as they shake it up. He is from Merrill, Wisconsin, making sure that truck is rolling in the high lane. Mr. Chris Melton in the Toyota tonight is from Longwood, Florida in the 49 truck. Very, very pretty truck in the blue top, almost like an off-brand Napa scheme. Chris Ramsey flying high in the yellow mellow and the mellow yellow squeeze. John Houston, when his truck does decide to show up to some of these races and it's not blinking all over the place, you can find him in the 28 Klondike truck. Jason Kinney in the 66 is from Groton, Connecticut. Johnny Hurst, UPS all day, making them freaky fast deliveries and then making sure that he makes it to the racetrack in the 58 UPS Toyota is from Corbin, Kentucky. Dalton Steele, maybe have a little bit of a challenger. Maybe he carries some of the UPS equipment in that Home Depot Toyota number 45 truck. Mike Adamson, chilling in the back. No brand, no name. Just rolling it deep with the number 33 with the Adamson on the side. And right behind him, Mr. Dale Adamson, rolling the same. So, pretty sure these are a good old throwback to the days of, IROC. These are the old IROC schemes that they used to run. So, make sure we make it through the entire field, though. Mr. Jimmy Rowdy Pyland from Midwest City in Oklahoma wants to make sure that he gets that 29 truck up to the front after a bad qualifying start. Michael Bollinger wanted to make sure everybody saw his nice paint scheme tonight. He is from Bentonville, Arkansas, and we can probably get a little bit of a better look on there. Make sure that eagles are flying high on the front of that truck. And I think we have missed Mr. Mark Morton in the 88 Mountain Dew amp truck. Might be a little bit of a throwback here to Dale Jr. But if you guys haven't noticed, as we've been passing through this good old lineup of all these drivers, we are in a throwback week. It may not be a points race. We might not be racing for the points lead, but it doesn't hurt to run a throwback week. So we are doing good, everybody. We are 16 laps into this. And we're not going to do a commentator's curse. We're just going to continue to watch these guys ride it out. So enjoy the racing. I'm not going to say it. That way we're not in the midst of me causing a problem, right? We want to make sure that we keep all curses out the window. So Davino is still leading this race. He has led all 16 laps. Shu did have a opportunity to lead at some point. May have backed out. Maybe just didn't have any help. Mr. Wagner has kind of been holding up the fort. If he holds it up too long, though, Barker and Davino will get a run. While we're talking about Wagner, just want to give a good old shout out, James Wagner Welding. They help us out a lot with this series, so want to make sure that they get a good shout out. Don't know if Mr. Wagner eats any cosmic brownies, but that truck in the 30 looks pretty good run by Dougie tonight. So, Mr. James, if you ever are watching this and you like cosmic brownies, let us know. We'll send you a box. And no, we're not sponsored by them. So we'll just go to Walmart, buy you a box, and send it to you. So, all right, we are 3 wide. Does look like Jeff Scott and Jason Kenny are holding down that third lane with Mark Morton in the third spot of that lane. Want to make sure that we get through all your drivers every race. And we also want to make sure that all of our sponsors get a shout out throughout the race. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Want to make sure that we shout out Mag Real Estate. They help fund our race control every week. So we want to make sure that they know we're here for you. We love you. Go get some real estate down in San Antonio. All right. Well, there hasn't been much of a change at the front yet. We continue to see these guys fighting for spots. Make sure that we are keeping an eye on things up front, but it does look like pit stops may be coming shortly. We are 19 out of 75 laps. Usually these guys run 75% of fuel in these trucks, so they could probably make it to about 30, 33. May see a little bit of strategy play out. Does look like Mickey slid up a little bit. I don't think Barker is going to give him a hard time for sliding up at all. I think he's going to let him slide right back in there and lead some more laps. Does look like we've got a residential blinker in the 45 truck back there in Dalton Steel. But he's not in a hard place at all to cause an incident. He is staying in that bottom lane in the back of that pack. I do want to talk about how Mike and Dale have kept the issues in front of them. They want to make sure that they're not beating and banging before this first pit stop. Kind of just slowly watching, backing up a little bit as these guys go through the corners. So, I do know everybody does like loud race cars. So, what we're going to do is we're going to shoot this ticker on. I'm going to shut up, and we're going to be live for a good old hard time. Crank it up. And it does look like our first caution is out. We are going to get the replay for that. I do not think it was anything crazy. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't a caution. It was a caution. So I'm going to try and figure this out. It does look like maybe just a reaction of someone coming off the track. We're going to watch through. No issues. Yeah. Just looked like we may have thrown a caution for this one. So maybe they threw it for Mickey coming off the track. We want to check in with him, make sure he's doing okay. It does look like he fell off the track and went onto the apron, but no big deal there. Probably just trying to figure stuff out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of these guys pit here. It's been a 22 lap run. It never hurts to go down pit lane and get a little bit of a break. So while we do that, I'm gonna probably hop up a commercial and while I take a quick little bathroom break, and then we will be back with the action. All right, folks, we are back, and Barker did win the race off the pit road. So I don't know if this is a strategy call by him and Davino. Maybe want to make sure that Davino gets the opportunity to hop in front of him when they go green flag. So we're going to try to find the man himself, Tim Richardson. And he is trying to get some laps back, get back into this race so he can be a little more competitive in that beautiful throwback scheme. Got the good old 2 on there, no decal on the front. I love it. It's my favorite. So we are going to bring up during the pace lap. Nah, we'll wait for the next one. I was going to pull our race control here into the booth, but we'll wait for the next one. Maybe get a line of things and figure out what was going on with that caution. But yeah, I think they might have just thrown a caution to throw a caution. Maybe take a little bit of a break. We're 23 laps in here. We haven't had a single incident yet. So it's going pretty good. Barker is leading this race at the current time. Mickey Davino is in second place. Mr. Wagner is rocking third place in that awesome Cosmic Brownies truck. Steven Shue in fourth. Mr. Morton in the Amp Energy truck, number 88, rocking the Chevy. Dalton Steele has made his way up after pit stops to the 6th position. He is in that 45 Toyota of Home Depot. Mr. Jeff Scott rocking the Wheaties truck in the 38 Toyota. John Houston in 8th. Jason Kinney 9th. Chris Ramsey in the Mellow Yellow, rocking 10th place. Jimmy Pyle in 11th. Dale Adamson is rocking 12th. Daniel Love 13th. Michael Bollinger is restarting in the 14th position. We got Johnny Hurst in the 15th position. Mike Adamson in the 16th. Hopefully he makes it all the way back up to Dale. I know that they were rocking together. Christopher Melton falling in the back. And then Tim Richardson is out on track. He is going to catch up to these guys. Probably got a couple laps back from our race control. Was having a little bit of issues, but should be rocking just fine. So as always, I want to make sure we are always shouting out everybody who helps this thing go around. If you guys don't notice, we've got sponsors everywhere. We want to make sure Admin Box gets called out. We want to make sure Wagner's Welding gets called out. We want to make sure Mag gets called out. We want to make sure that everybody that supports this league gets called out, because Ruff-Neck-Racing is a good time. And a final shout out goes out to Lift Bodies. Always making sure that your lift needs are taken care of. And we are going to be coming back into the Geico restart zone. Most of the time at these super speedways, you will see these guys start to span out here and wait for the green flag to wave for Mr. Bernie. So we will show you the beautiful Mr. Bernie holding that green flag for these guys as he waves it. Does look like these guys are going to have an awesome start. And we are going to take you around with these guys for a good one. As they head into turn one, does look like it's 2x2, little bit of a 3 wide in the middle by John Houston. Make sure that we do not get too far behind these guys, or too far ahead of these guys, I should say. We are 3 wide now. Does look like that third lane is starting to gather itself. We got a little bit of wiggle out of Adamson in the back, but he squares it up. The 45 making his way through. Mr. Dalton Steele is getting up there to shoe. Does look like Mr. Barker has allowed Mickey to reclaim the lead as Shoe is on the outside. Gonna make it a race. Does look like we've made it about a third of the way through this race. Clean scaved, no cautions, nothing big. These guys are giving each other a ton of space. Want to make sure that we get down to those last 10 laps and everybody has a shot at winning this thing. All right, question of the day. If you're driving at a super speedway in the reverse direction in a truck, does it have the same effect, or do you think it would go right into the wall? Leave your answers in the chat. I want to know. Again, the question is, if you are driving a truck at a super speedway, but you're doing all right turns, will the truck go straight into the wall because of the skew, or do you think you can make the corner at the same speed these guys are going? If you guys can, might see you at Talladega next year, and I might put you up to that bet. We do look like Jason Kinney has changed his mind as he gets a little high, almost hitting the mellow yellow chuck up there in the back. Want to make sure he's doing all right. Does look like Chris Ramsey did get shuffled out there. He is in the third lane. You know, I think it would be a little different. Might be a little strange to be doing right turns, but, you know, we have a lot of these fun runs in the off season. I might just have to talk these guys into doing it. We might have to do that as a fun run on a Thursday night. Obviously, in the off season, we don't want to do that in the regular season with points on the line, but we do have a new biggest mover at the moment, and that would be Mr. Mark Morton in the 88 truck. He is getting all amped up on that Amp Energy drink, Mountain Dew. Chevrolet making his way, pushing to the front, Mr. Shoe in the 00 Toyota. And if you guys don't know, Steven Shoe even runs James Wagner Welding on his truck. So make sure you guys leave comments in the chat, leave thumbs up, whatever, subscribe. I will be broadcasting as much as I can until baby is due in September. Then wife gets me, kiddo gets me. So thumbs up in the chat for that. But you guys will be here every Wednesday night with us doing this Roughneck Truck Series on Wednesday. Brought to you by James Wagner Welding. As we are 3x3 in the tri-oval, these guys are getting a little squirrely here. Does look like the anticipation to make up some spots is getting pretty exciting in the middle of the pack. And always remember, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew is probably from the best Talladega movie ever, Talladega Nights. Will Ferrell, awesome in that movie. Steve Ferrell. Who am I talking about? Is that even a guy? Steve Ferrell? Someone Google Steve Ferrell, and we've got our first real accident of the race. So we are going to make sure that we get all of the footage for that for you guys. So does look like we got a few trucks caught up in this one. Okay. Looks like it might be a little bit of a bad push from the 45 into the 88. Sends him, bumps a little bit. Looks like the 03 gets caught up. So we'll try and get another camera angle here for you. One more time. Jeff Scott did get caught up in this one as well, but I do not know the damage. The blinking probably did not. Oh, and he went right into the wall. So that's going to be a fast repair for him. So we've got a crazy amount of guys all caught up in this one. So, but you know who's not? Mr. Mickey Davino. He's still leading this race. And I think he's led all but one lap in this entire race. You hate to see the cautions, but at the same time, you love to see a great man like Mickey Davino up at the front. So hopefully these guys can get down pit lane, get these fast repairs all squared away, and we're going to hit another commercial real quick from our good old service members at the Air Force, and we will be right back.
When I was a kid, I wanted to touch the skies.
I wanted to invent things.
I wanted to protect others.
I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to make a difference.
I knew that one day I would be the difference.
I am a special missions aviator.
Clinical nurse.
Pararescueman.
I'm Captain Chris Niels, and we are American Airmen.
See more at airforce.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the broadcast. We did see something was added to this incident, so we are going to take you back on that and make sure that you guys can see what happened to Chris Melton. I want to get you guys a good camera angle. It looks like he might have... It did say he crashed, but I don't know if it caught him and maybe he just stopped on the apron. Sometimes when you do stop on the apron entering pit road, it will go off as a crash, but it looks like he's just sitting there just fine. He's just waiting, making sure everybody makes it back okay. So we will return to the race. Looks like Mr. Barker himself has reached out of pit road. And we want to make sure you guys have the sound too. So we're going to bring that back too. If the engine sounds are a little too quiet for you, just let me know. And we need to hide our logos that are behind this ticker because we don't want you guys seeing double. So if you guys want a little more engine sound, just put a thumbs up in the chat. I can make them a little louder. Don't want to just make it where you guys are hearing a voice the entire race. Give me some feedback. Don't be against giving me the feedback. I haven't broadcasted in ages, man. Crank it up on me, all right? So we got Barker in first place, Davino in second. Shaw has come out in the third place. Mike had an amazing pit stop, makes it all the way up to fourth. Might have been a little bit of caution, but he did make up some spots during the pits. Chris Ramsey in fifth. Jimmy Pyland in sixth place. Dale Adamson is currently in the seventh position. Mark Morton did lose some places. He was caught up in that, did a little bit of damage. I'm sure he was making sure he got everything fixed up. We got Mr. Wagner back here in the ninth. He did lose some places. He got hit a little bit, but want to make sure you guys know the brownies are safe. Mr. Wagner has the brownies safe, and we are good to go. Mystical brownies. Cosmic brownies, even. Daniel Love is sitting in the 10th place with Mr. John Houston in the 11th. Good old Klondike bar. What would you do for a Klondike bar to fix his blinking? Johnny Hurst in the 12th. Jeff Scott will line up 13th on the restart. Mr. Dalton Still and the Home Depot Toyota rolling number 14th. 15th will be Jason Kinney, who got caught up, as well as Chris Melton. He did not get caught up in the incident as bad. I think it was just a little bit of, I was there. And I see Mr. Tim has been going on and off of pit road all night, so he must be having some technical issues. Well, count like real life. iRacing has to throw a little bit of a stud in there every once in a while, right? So we will get back green flag racing this lap. These guys are currently on the Brack straightaway. I do see that the 03 has commented that he is done for the night. Man, you had a fast repair. Why didn't you use your fast repair? And I do see you, Alex, in the chat. John has ran a great race. Had a little bit of blinking issues, but he has been running a fine race tonight. So, miss you, man. Wish you were here with us. Wish you were here. So, how's everybody doing tonight, though? This race has been awesome. 1 caution in 32 laps. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk that we would be all the way here? So, we are going to get a little bit of Bernie back. So, Bernie is going to be dragging the green flag for us. Content, I will. So, I'll be on content tonight. Post-race, we'll play some games. I do got to be to bed a little early. But just so everybody knows, we're only using 0.1% of the CPU as we come to the green flag. We want to make sure that we are getting Mr. Bernie in the camera angle as these guys come to the green flag. You'll probably see Barker give it to Davino and try and slot into the first lane. And it does look like we are going to get the wave of the green flag. Make sure that we get all of this squared away. Tim's having some issues in the back of there, but it looks like he is going clear. Does look like we do finally have a battle up front between Barker and Mr. Davino for the lead. And it does look like we are 4 wide up front. Hopefully these guys can figure it out. It does look like Mr. Barker wanted to make his way down to the bottom lane on Mickey Davino. If you guys don't know, we talked about it a little bit in this broadcast. This may be Mickey's last race with us. He is fighting cancer right now, and we are so sad for him and his family. But we are so grateful that he has led over 30 laps of this race tonight. He started on pole. He's been rocking it. He's been getting with these guys 3 wide, and he's been hanging with the best of them. So if you guys can, send a prayer to Mickey Davino's family and that beautiful green and yellow A-truck. And he just wanted me to let everybody know that he is built for the top. And we want to make sure that you guys aren't hearing my coughing the entire race. So I did hit up a mute key. I am going to turn down the volume a little bit if the NASCAR vroom vroom is a little too quiet. Let me know and we will pop it back up. These guys have been racing an incredible race. I want to make sure, though, that we are not leaving out anybody from this broadcast. So to ensure that, we are going to make sure that you guys see the front. We are also going to make sure that you guys are seeing all the way back to 11th place. And John Houston, who has not lost a spot since the restart, he is blinking a little bit. We're going to move off of him just a hair. Chris Melton here in the 49 car. We are going to go on board. Want to make sure you guys got a little bit of sound. But yes, I did see that Jimmy is up. He is rocking and rolling. And it does look like the UPS truck gets a little loose, but he saves it right in front of Melton. Could have been a big one. Does look like Wagner is going to try and shoot them 4 wide, as Mr. Pyland is now the pusher for Mike Adamson up front. But don't be alarmed, everybody. Mickey DeVino is still rocking the 3rd place, just trying to save some fuel. You run on that front spot and you are in the draft, you will burn a lot of fuel. It does look like Shu wants his spot back, but he is going to get ran over if he stays in that spot. Sorry for the camera stutter. I was swapping. I was making sure you guys were good. Making sure everybody was good. So, get a little bit of overhead cam for everybody. If you guys do hear clicking from my keyboard and stuff, I am working on it. Trust me. I've been working on it this week. Got a new mic coming and all that good stuff. We will have professional a microphone next week. So we do got a tight battle here in the middle pack, all the way back to the 58 truck in Mr. Johnny Hurst. I did mix him up earlier. But we know what you guys all came for. We knew what you really came for. And let's see if we can find him real quick. Mr. Daniel Love and the Hooters. Does look like they get a little 3 wide back there. These guys are in trouble of losing the draft. They are losing time on this front pack. Does look like Tim is having some issues. Michael Bollinger is out. The 00, I do not know if Shu had an issue in the draft, and we do have a wreck up front with Mr. Chris Melton was collected in that one. So we will take you back to that accident in just a second. And as you guys can see here, it does look like we get a bit of a kerfuffle in the middle pack. And as we can see, oop, wrong one. Let's go back. Hit the wrong button, everybody. Yep, looks like he might have just gotten it too bad. So as you can see here, it does look like he got a little loose coming out of the tri-oval, and that might have caused it. He came up into Wagner and then bounced off of Wagner, and Mr. Morton comes across. Doesn't look like a crazy amount, but I did see that a few more folks were caught up in this incident. So we will go back. As you can see, the 8 car there. Adamson tries to come back up on the track and just collects Jason Kinney. I do believe that is Kinney's 2nd accident of the night. So he may be done. So, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you come and race with us more. It was beautiful to see that 03 car on the track tonight. We did. Make sure you go back in the broadcast. We did definitely zoom in on it. Make sure that it was all seen. Also, the cat jumping onto the lap. I want to talk about that. You guys in the viewing this race might see that as abnormal, but guess what? It happens all the time to me. I've got 2 of them at home, and they love my race seat. But we are going to head to one more commercial for the evening. Then we will be commercial free. This is from our guys and gals over at the Navy.
I said I'd never join.
Thought living on sub would be too hard.
I figured only the weatherman track storms.
I said my job wouldn't matter.
I couldn't even swim.
Joining the Navy sounds crazy. Saying never actually is.
And we are back ad-free for the rest of the night. Adamson did go in to the pit lane first, and he did make it out in front of everybody. So he should see the lead. I do believe we are getting close to that window where you may see some folks come back into pit road. This one is for Alex. We do have Mr. Houston here in the Klondike. He did come out third. He made up quite a few spots on that pit stop. So he will be starting behind Adamson or Jimmy Pyland on the row he chooses. So Jimmy Pyland is in second place. Whether the cat landed or not, he did a pretty good job. John Houston is in third place. Chris Ramsey in his mellow yellow Ford is in the fourth place. Johnny Hurst with a beautiful UPS scheme. And we are going to try and get you guys all squared away for this. We have in the Wheaties, Mr. Jeff Scott in sixth place. Mark Morton is in the amped up energy drink National Guard Mountain Dew number 88 Chevy. Dalton Steele is rocking the Home Depot number 45 Toyota. Daniel Love is rocking your good old Hooters wings. Make sure you go get the wings. In the number 71 Ford, Mickey has fallen back to 10th, but he does claim a 10th place right now. So he is not too far out of the lead. Mr. Steven Shue and James Wagner are trying to figure out the 11th place right now. We've got Christopher Melton here in 13th. Mr. Jason Kinney did make it back out on the track, so he is rolling 14th. Barker was collected in that, went face planted into the wall in the Bud Goodwrench 8 and number 3 and number 96 truck. Dale Adamson was collected in that. Looks like he's got a little bit of right damage on that Earnhardt Jr. 746 throwback to the IROC scheme. And Mr. Tim Richardson is just out here to collect some laps in his Gainbridge Insurance Agency LLC number 2 truck. As you guys can see on there, we got a little bit of Ruff-Neck-Racing. So, these guys are getting collected behind the pace car. Pace truck, I should say. We got to make sure that we are on the pace truck. So, what we're going to do, we're going to watch these guys fly at 190 miles an hour in these trucks. But we're going to hope we don't have another caution. We want to make sure we don't have too many cautions tonight because these guys have been rocking and rolling all night in these trucks. We want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors, especially James Wagner Welding, who sponsors the truck series. Good old Mag Real Estate from San Antonio, who sponsors our good old race control every Wednesday night. We also want to send a shout out to Admin Box, best admin boxes in the game. So make sure you guys go check them out. And then Lift Bodies, we'll get the good old shout out. Make sure any of your lift needs, you give Lift Bodies a chance to go. Also, looks like it's a rocking and rolling by the Wagner family as well. So give those guys a good shout out. I would do the roof cam, but we've got a better cam for these starts. And the only way to do it is to make sure that Mr. Bernie gets to fly the good old flag for us. And we will have Mike Adamson leading them to the green as they wave the green flag as these guys begin to shuffle. We will set you up with an awesome cameras that we have totally gotten for free. Just want to let you guys know there are plenty of free awesome action cameras on Reddit. Make sure you guys check them out. If you guys are paying for cameras, make sure they're worth it. I only stick with free. As these guys are coming back to the start finish, it does look like John Houston has found his way to the front of this field, and he will be racing Adamson to the line. Adamson does take the lap, but John Houston has currently found himself in the first place. We need to hope that his blinking issues do not take place during this lap or the rest of the race, because we have plenty of fans that are watching Mr. John Houston take it, as him and Mike Adamson are battling side by side. It does look like the number 88 of Mark Morton has decided to go up into that third lane. They are 4 wide, and we do have a wreck. It does look, oh, and John Houston is also collected in the accident. We will have all the reviews here in just a second. So as you guys can see, this is the second incident that took place. We will go back one more time and try and get it in a slower. As you guys can see, it just looks like in the back, 66 might have caught the 13 when they were 4 wide. And then it also looks like the 38 and the 28 might have had a little bit of net code between them. And it just takes the 28 and the 88 for a wild ride. And the rest ensues with Mr. Jimmy Pilon coming onto the apron and saving this truck. I do want to say that it does not look good for Houston, so hopefully he does have one of those fast repairs in the bank. We are currently 45 laps into this race at Talladega. We are running throwback schemes. This race is not a points race, so these guys shouldn't be too worried about it. If you guys have a driver that you would like to see me run on board with for a few laps when we get back Green Flag Racing, throw their name in the comments and we will make sure that we get on board with them. If you guys notice, my voice is a little raspy, little sick, but we want to make sure that you guys are taken care of with the broadcast. We did have some takers down pit lane. James, Mr. Dougie Wagner, Steven Shue, Chris Ramsey, Jason Kinney, and Chris Melton have all come to pit road, probably to top off on fuel, maybe take some tires, and maybe get some of that optional damage fixed if they were collected in that incident. And we will go back to the track where Mr. Jeff Scott has taken over the lead with Mr. Johnny Hurst in the UPS truck. 71. All right, let's make sure that we get him on board. He did look like he wanted to get some pit road service on that 71 Hooters truck. And we will make sure you get a better look of that on the zoomed in beautiful Talladega camera from our K&S Sim Productions crew. I don't know, it just feels weird. I feel like it belongs on a Chevy. Whoever's in the chat saying Go 71, can we talk to him about doing a Chevy? Like, Hooters always belongs on a Chevy. I'm just going to point that out. So he is catching his way up to the field. We want to make sure you guys don't miss any of the action. We are not going to have any more commercial breaks for the rest of this race. We wanted to make sure we got them all knocked out. If you guys do need a bathroom break or you need a commercial to emphasize you taking a bathroom break, we can throw up another commercial. But if you guys would like it to just stay in the action as we do these long 2-minute pace laps, just make sure you don't say anything at all. I need to get really better about running these logos. So, if you guys, hey, you know, K&S, can you remove those little top right logos while you guys are running? So, running through the order, looks like we've got Mr. Scott in first, Hurst in second, Adamson in the 33, truck is in third place, 45, Mr. Steele himself is in the fourth position, Pyland is in the fifth, Davino has made his way up since the last restart into sixth place in that number 8 truck. Adamson, number 2, is in the 746, has found his way up to 7th. Mr. Barker after getting caught in the last incident, has made his way back up to 8th. Mr. Wagner is in the 9th after that pit road little stoppage with Shoe. Oh, Mr. Shoe is in the 9th. Wagner is in the 10th. Mr. Melton is in the 11th. We've got good old Daniel Love is in 12th. Ramsey of the Chris name is in 13th, running the number 13. Kenny is 14th. And currently we see John Houston is in pit road taking on some repairs. If you guys haven't noticed, Mr. Richardson has found his way back to only 2 laps down. He is getting some wave arounds, had some technical issues at the beginning of this race, so he is making his way around. On this restart, do we do another crank it up? How does the commentary, the chat feel? Should we do another crank it up on this one? Should I shut up for a lap and or maybe even 2 laps and let these guys just play some engine noises for you guys? I forget there's a little bit of a delay on the chat, so I'm gonna be nice and just crank the engine noises. Everyone likes engine noises, so we're gonna go with that. Does look like we got a new leader and our biggest mover, Mr. Johnny Hurst, in the 58 UPS truck. He has made his way all the way through the field after starting from the back, and he is now the leader of this race. We need to make sure that we turn down the engine noises for everybody, unless you want them cranked up. We do have Home Depot making sure that they're packing the back of that UPS truck. Mr. Dalton still is pushing Johnny Hurst. It does look like Davino is trying to get a second row going good to go. So realistically, if you're looking at these top 3, do you put the good wrench? Sorry about the update from. Sorry about the update in the bottom right-hand corner. We're not going to mention that. So do you put the good wrench in the Home Depot box and then put the Home Depot box in the UPS truck? Is that how we're supposed to rock things? I think that's what they want us to do. The other thing is, too, we've got, in the 4th place as of right now, another good wrench and some Budweiser. So do we just pack them all up and send them to the house? I think it would work out, everybody. I think we just need to pack everything together and send it, right? So these guys are making quite a breakaway from the pack. Mike Adamson is trying to get the second pack rock together, but it does look like this side-by-side fighting might leave the top 4 out. And right now we have a 5/10 gap to the guys in front of them. So these guys need to rock it together, get single file, and catch this first pack, or they're going to be out of it. They're down to 6/10. They lost almost 2/10 in the tri-oval. So if these guys don't get it together, we're only going to have a 4-person battle unless a caution comes out. Hopefully these guys can get squared away in the second pack and get it all together. It does look like we have a few outliers. Usually if you don't get that third truck bumped up to the second, it doesn't work. But these guys, man, they are just everywhere. They are totally against what I'm deciding to say, because that second line has not only caught the first line, they are brewing through the first line right now on the bottom lane. They're coming from the high lane behind the Cosmic Brownies number 30 truck, and you have side-by-side battle between Johnny Hurst and Mr. Dougie Wagner coming to the start-finish line with 23 laps to go. It does look as though we will probably see one more pit stop for those that possibly didn't pit, but we want to put you in the middle of all the action. So we are going to go in the gyro cam and make sure you guys are seeing how everybody is working up front from their view. Does look like Mr. Shu is pushing Wagner pretty good through those corners. It's not always a safe bet, but if you can make it work, it's a great time. So we are side by side, 5 rows back as Wagner has left the outside lane, decided to pull Johnny Hurst with him. Maybe Johnny and him have a plan to bump hard and get back that gap that the 58, 45, 29, and 96 truck had. Does look like Shu did decide to come down. It does also look like the 45 has chosen the apron as they wreck in turn 3. And as always, we will have all the action momentarily for you. It will not be a slow wait. We will have a slow pace through the caution, as it looks like the 49 came across the nose of Mr. Jimmy Pyland in the 29, and it causes a collection. It does not look good for the 66 truck, as this is his 3rd incident during this race. Poor Mr. Jason. We will see if we can get the rest of this wreck squared out. We do have a bumper flying, so if you guys want some memorabilia, I can't claim what it goes on with those virtual bumpers, but we also want you guys to know that they may be on sale. So maybe we could do a NFT or something for them. So we will get you back to the front. We also have some guys down pit lane, as in Johnny Hurst and Daniel Love getting some pit service. It does not look like Johnny Hurst has his fast repair, so he may be taking some repairs from the pit lane and getting back out there as soon as he can. We also have Daniel Love. Looks like he was caught up in the incident as well. Make sure we get you guys all the damage reports. Let us see what happened to Jimmy Pyland. He looks like he had his fast repair, so he is back out on track. It does look like our leaders are going to pit for this final fuel stop with 21 coming to 22 go. We need to make sure that these guys get it all filled up. It is tight here, and we do have green-white checkers. So if they have not taken a full tank, Mr. Davino has decided to slow up the field. Maybe a little bit of pit strategy coming into the pits. As a reminder, this may be Mr. Mickey Davino's last race with us. He is currently fighting a battle with cancer, and we truly hope that you and your family would send him and his family some prayers. Mr. Mickey has been racing with us for quite a long time, and he informed us tonight that he has been fighting a battle with cancer. We decided as a group to let him lead us to the green, and he did lead 31 laps to start off this race, getting pushes from the likes of Matt Barker, Mr. Ace himself. So please, if you have any time in your day, send him and his family some prayers, and make sure you know he wanted everybody to know that he is truly built Ford tough. All right. Had to collect myself, everybody. Make sure that we're all good to go. We want to send out a huge shout out. Huge shout out to Flieger Farms Racing for his incredible broadcasting on Monday nights. If you guys have a chance, make sure you go check out Flieger. He sponsors our pole award for every race, and he is an amazing broadcaster. If you guys have never seen a big head on a screen behind a broadcasting board, he is the funniest man when it comes to broadcasting, and I hope one day soon me and him can find ourselves in the booth together. It does look as though we do have some takers down pit road. Once again, maybe getting that final top off, maybe trying to fix up some damage. We will go green at the end of this lap. We also have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Tim Richardson back on the lead lap. He is taking some fuel. We do have Daniel Love fixing some damage. We do have Johnny Hurst still down pit road. But we do have a new fighter in this battle for the win in Mr. Number 2 himself, Tim Richardson, the man, the myth, the beast, the legend. He is going to work his way all the way to the back of this pack, line up and try and win this thing after starting from the pits and having some technical difficulties. But back out front, we have Mr. Dalton Steele will lead these folks back to the green. It does look like Mickey was given second place coming back to this restart by his fellow companions. So our goal is to see him win this race. Just so everybody knows, rubber mallets were on standby for this race. We pre-purchased 40 virtual pre-mallets or rubber mallets just in case for this race. Rubber mallets, you need them ever virtual. Google virtual rubber mallets. It's actually a thing. No, it's not anything gross. It is child appropriate. It is an actual mallet. We do have one issue. It looks like we might have a wreck under caution, but I believe it was just a fellow letting his fellow competitors go, and we are going to give it to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Bernie, for this restart. does look like we have found ourselves another caution towards the end of this race. We are going to go back and check it out. And it does look like it may be the number 66 truck and Jason Kinney getting collected again. We will go back to the beginning of the caution and make sure that you guys see all the action. It does look like he may have gotten a bad tight bump from the 2 truck. It looks like only 1 or 2 trucks were involved in this with damage. So Jason Kinney will try and go back to pit road and get that damage repaired. While we're on this little break, I want to thank everybody for reaching out. This is my first broadcast in almost a year and a half. I have battled and fought to get back to this point to where I can broadcast for you guys and offer a little bit of a cheaper option in the iRacing industry for leagues. If you do happen to be a charity iRacing event holder and you need a broadcaster, I am free. I am working on all of my graphics to get us up to 1440p. If it is not up to the standard that everybody thinks iRacing should be held to, my job is to get to that standard and hold bigger iRacing companies to the bigger standard. I also want to send a big, huge shout out to V-Speed Racing Network. Those guys, I wouldn't have been able to get into this whole broadcasting thing without them. They have gone above and beyond on teaching me how to do a lot of this stuff. And finally, I would like to thank Mr. Rev himself from Rev Sim Shop. He has spent night and day teaching me how to make these things look better for you, the viewer. So, big shout out to everyone I just named. Also, finally, our 2 other broadcast partners with Flieger Farms. He is phenomenal, and also another broadcaster that comes to mind and a great help is Mr. Richard Hurst. He has been unbelievable in his broadcasting, and I hope we can see him back soon. So big shout out to everybody I just named. Thank you all for tuning in. We are going to have about 14 laps to go, and we are going to give you all the action. If you guys want me to shut up for the entirety of this race and make the engines go loud and roar, let me know. If you guys enjoy the commentary, please leave a subscription. I will be back hopefully tomorrow night, also broadcasting again. Our ASDR partners will be throwing together their Next Gen Series race here. It is a points race, and there are no fast repairs. So catch a lot of these Ruff-Neck guys over there. And finally, we want to also remind everybody to send a huge prayer out to Mickey Davino and his family as he battles through cancer, but he also battles for the win of this race as he sits in first place. All right, we back. Hey, everyone's got to make a bathroom break every once in a while, okay? I'm not saying it was for tissues or anything. I'm just saying we got to make bathroom breaks every once in a while. Make sure if you guys aren't hydrating, hydrate. It's a hot one out there. Anybody who is watching on a computer, if you guys can you guys tell me what it looks like on the computer? I only have my phone that I'm watching on. I kind of take a little bit of the breaks during the commercials and stuff to see how it looks on the phone. If anyone can go on a computer or is watching this on a computer and let me know the quality. If the quality is even a little bit blurry, cars are skipping, anything like that, please let me know and I will fix it for next week. That way we can get to a beautiful middle ground. All right, everybody. So we will be entering turn 3 here. We are going to have the restart with Mr. Mickey DeVino starting in first with Dalton Still in second, Mr. Wagner himself in third, Mr. Steven Chu in fourth, and that big, bright blue, well, maybe if I got the guy right, big, bright green James Wagner Welding truck. Mr. Barker will be starting with the double entendre truck in the number 8, the number 3 with the good wrench and the Budweiser on his truck. He actually is the number 96. Don't let him fool you. With Jeff Scott in 6th, Mike Adamson in 7th, Dale Adamson in 8th, Chris Ramsey in 9th, and Mr. Jimmy Pyland in 10th. And we will let Mr. Bernie take us away. Mickey fights for the lead. We do see that third lane coming around the outside. They are neck and neck with the bottom lane, and it does look like the Adamson brother or son and father have pushed themselves up to the front in front of Mickey, and they are going bumper to bumper with a 3-wide action behind them. As it looks like the number 45 has been turned coming out of corner number 2, and we will get you all the action on that replay. And we will roll this in slow motion and begin to see that it kind of looks like the 45 didn't have a place to go and just comes up into the number 29. And it's unlucky for the 29 because he has been having such a great race. Found himself, battled through adversity. I can't tell if there's a bumper there or not. It does look like it floated a little bit. But we want to make sure that you guys are getting everything and all the action through all of these wrecks. Yeah, pretty big one into that outside wall for the Mr. Dalton Steele. It also looks like we had some members that actually made it through it pretty good. John Houston does look like he has survived the incident without any impact to himself. We do have another brewing issue that might be taking place under the caution lap. It looks like we might have a wreck under yellow. That is not a good sign when members are wrecking each other intentionally. It looks like the 29 has gotten into the 38. We do not like to see that, and this is definitely not a league that transpires to be that way. So I am sure that we will see these members taken off the track. I get retaliation, but never do it inside the simulator. It's always better to have a chat after. I hope that these two can come to common ground and find a way to race on the track together in the future with a little more cleanliness. So, as I was saying, yeah, I noticed that, Duke. Kind of sucks that Jimmy did get taken out. Does look like he is on pit road. Gonna take some repairs. Hopefully get back out on track. I would love to see neither of these guys parked for this incident. It does look like Jimmy's going to take some tires. He is going to take some repairs. We've got quite a few members that were involved in this wreck and the last taking some repairs, excuse me. We do hope that these guys all get off of pit road, though. So, as we wait for that, if you guys see a flying mouse, I'm just trying to find my mouse real quick so I can get you back to Mike Adamson in the lead. It is great to see these old IROC schemes out front with Mike and Dale Adamson. These guys are rock stars. They show up every week. They support us. They make sure that they're doing everything they can to win every week. Sometimes they find themselves battling a little bit in the not the greatest of ways, getting caught up in some other people's messes. But just a reminder, Mr. Mickey has found himself up front all night in that third spot, led about 31 laps of this race to start. Make sure you guys give a big old woohoo for him. Also, if you are watching it on the TV and you were the one that said looks good to me and clear on the TV, I appreciate that. Usually if it looks good on a monitor, it does look good on a TV. But if you're watching it on the TV, that would be awesome. Yeah, it's not a gnat flying around you. It's just my mouse flying through the broadcast. But I promise you, we'll keep the mouse on tap. If you guys see it more, I promise you, getting back into this thing, it's a whole show. So, also, if you guys are watching this and you work for a business, anything like that, you guys want to be represented and you guys don't want to pay a hard fee for a short little race on Wednesday, Thursday, Monday nights, please send us something out. Let us show any business that you support. That way we can spread the love. I don't charge anything for a broadcast commercial. I just like commercializing everything that I love. I'm in the military. That's why you guys saw the Army, Air Force, and Navy commercials tonight. Also, make sure that you guys get situated and everybody around you knows what's great and how to get the good eats. And we're going to go back to the man himself, Mr. Wagner, rocking that Cosmic Brownies paint scheme for us. So these folks will be coming out of turn 2. We will be having about 9 laps to go. If you guys don't know what 9 laps to go, that is 9 full circles around the track, and then we will declare a winner. Marines, I did have a commercial. For some reason, I cannot find it in OBS. So next week, I will make sure we make that up, and we will have a Marines commercial ready for you at the start of the broadcast. Catch us every Wednesday night for the remainder of 4 races here at KNS Sim Productions. We start the broadcast a little early so you guys can catch some practice. It will start at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesdays. Tomorrow night's Cup broadcast for ASDR will start at 7. I think we started at about 8 Eastern Time. Yeah, that sounds about right. But I am an admin over there, and sometimes I forget. So if you guys get a chance in the chat, say hi to my wife. She is painting behind me as we are broadcasting this whole thing. So we are going to let Bernie rock and roll this restart as we have a wreck under caution, and that is never great. Hopefully we can maybe get these guys to extend the caution. It does not look like we are going to get fired away on this one. Let's just check in with our man Bernie. Bernie, are we going to start this one? Nope. He's got the good old yellow flag back out, so it looks like we're going to extend this thing one more time. As we do that, I would usually let you guys watch the pace lap, but it is 2-minute pace laps around here. So what I'm going to do, I am going to throw up one little commercial to support our truck series here, and we will be right back with the action.
Ruff-Neck-Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Talladega. This one is a total minefield. But I've got it under control. Because only one driver has wanted this track more than me. And we had the same name. You're all probably wondering, how did we figure it out? It's simple. This is Earnhardt country.
And we are back live for your race, folks. We are currently in the middle of 3 and 4, and we will get this race rocking. Hopefully we get some green flag laps going. We will have 8 to go due to the wreck under caution. It does look like all of those guys have gotten back on the track, gotten straightened out, and no one has had to pit. It does look like the 66 did take a little bit of extra damage. So I don't know how that's going to affect him once we get to the end of this thing. But Mickey Davino will be leading us to our green flag. Guess we extended it again. That's never good. Well, we're getting into that territory of green, white, checkered. So Bernie is not having a great day today. He is his arms got to be tired from holding that thing up for a whole lap. Can we get a shout out in the chat for Bernie, our flag man, our residential flag man? Let me make sure I'm live. Yeah, had to make sure we were live. But if you guys can, give Bernie good job in the chat. Make sure he knows you're there. We also had to make sure in the chat that it looked good still. So if you put the F in chat for hearing the broadcast, trust me, I make sure that I'm watching it at some point. So I'm not talking to nobody, because OBS will shut your stream off and you could be broadcasting to nobody and not know it. I want to make sure you guys see the end of this thing. Also, if you guys can, stick around. We're going to have some awesome post-race interviews from our winner, our second place, and our third place from this Talladega race. It's been a long 75 laps for these guys. Honestly, it's only been about 68 laps. But we'll have 7 to go here. It does look like lights are out on the pace car, so we should be good to go coming into Coca-Cola Corner and turn 3. And for those Johnny Hurst fans, Johnny Hurst has made it out onto the pits. He will be catching these guys hopefully before they take the green flag. It is a long 37 seconds to catch this pack. And if you guys can hear like a double voice, please tell me. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. All right, we're going to give it to our good old residential flag man, Mr. Bernie is. Mr. Mickey Davino will hopefully be leading us to our final restart next to the biggest mover of the race, which is Dale Adamson and that 746 truck. We are 6 to go, about halfway on the backstretch. We have Mickey DeVino out front leading the Adamson son and father duo through turn 3. Wagner trying to start that second group on the outside. Does not look like Houston and him will have any partners through the rest of this race. We have a good line of about 5 or 6 on the bottom. As they are coming through the tri-oval, we have 5 to go in the Wagner Welding 150. It does look like we are going to get some folks to fall in behind Wagner and Houston here. We will try and make a better camera. That's not it. I say better camera. Oh, and we've got 2 that are going on the infield right now. It does look like, oh, not a good rejoin on his part. That was the number 96 of Matthew Barker, who brings out the caution. We will go back and watch that with everybody. So it does look like the 30 did get pushed below the line, and this is where this incident starts. He is trying to do everything he can to make it back on the straight in a clean way, and the 96 is also trying to do the same. Looks like the 30 does check up a little bit to let him up, but the 96 and the 45 just come into each other, and it collects the number 96 through the corner. And it does not look good for him. He does bash that inside wall and comes all the way out into the track. Bumper flying, disappears, the truck is jumping, the suspension does not like that. So we will take you back live with him as Barker looks like he tried to make it back to pit road with no possibility of that happening. We did start this race with 18 trucks. We are out 2 at the moment, and we have possibly a third hitting that. Barker has moved to the pit lane with his tow truck in tow, so we want to make sure you guys know that he is currently not on track. Everyone in this field should have enough fuel, and if my calculations are correct, we are headed for a green, white, checkered. Overtime. My wife's looking at me crazy because I did that. F's in the chat for me. My wife thinks I look weird. She said I sound like a car salesman. If you guys need any car sales in your local area, hit me up. KNSM Production also does that. Not really, but really. So if you guys see in your top right screen, we have some sponsors, sub-sponsors that are filtering with Admin Box. Want to definitely hit up those guys if you guys need a box for any of your iRacing needs and lift bodies. If you guys need anything with a lift in your area, please reach out to Lift Bodies. See if they are in your local area and make sure you get all your lifting needs taken care of by them. We also have some big sponsors with Wagner's Welding. They cover everything that it takes to make this show run. They even sponsor the series on Wednesday night, which we are currently on there with the trucks. And we want to send a huge shout out to Southern Broadcast Racing Network. And we also want to send out a shout out to Flieger Farms Television. Want to catch all the Gen 6 action on Monday nights? Follow Flieger Farms, subscribe, and know when all the action is going to happen. Most importantly for me, if you guys want to see any of the action, please leave a subscription for KNSM Productions. We do broadcasting now, but I do a lot of edits. If you guys want to check those out, I do Armed Forces Racing League on Saturdays, do all of their edits. I do some Cup Series stuff. If you guys need any kind of editing at a cheaper discount for any of your gaming, wedding, anything like that, hit me up and I will make sure that we get you taken care of. And if you'd like to stick around post-race, Mag Real Estate out of San Antonio, Texas will be providing a broadcast / interview after the race. They are a sponsor for our race control to make sure that we get good old Mighty Penguin in the booth every week for our race control on Wednesday nights. If you guys have any race control needs, make sure you hit up Mr. Penguin in our Discord. If you guys are looking for the Discord, please head to Facebook, look for Ruff-Neck-Racing. Make sure that you guys reach out to them, and they will get you all set up with the Discord. So if you guys do not know, it looks like we are going to have a natural green-white checkered with 2 in the bank in case we need to have more. In the overtime of real-life NASCAR, it is infinite. So if you guys didn't check the truck series, the Craftsman truck series, a real life last year, they raced at Phoenix, and they had about eight overtime races. If you guys don't know, when we get into overtime, fuel is an issue. We get to a lot of guys having to pit if we get to multiple. These guys are saving fuel. We're also warming up the tires in a 4th place with Mr. Dalton Steele. He's got a little bit of damage on that Home Depot 45, but he might have something coming for Mr. Mickey Davino, who will lead us to the green flag on the green-white checkered. We are going to go simulcast and make sure you don't miss any of the action. We are also not going to do the good old engine makeup. We are going to stay broadcasting this entire restart as Mickey Davino gets a good jump, and it looks like the back is shaken up just a little bit. Mr. Dale Adamson did make it in front of Mike, so he is rocking right now in that 2nd place position. He is also our biggest mover at this point. Sorry, I am behind on the cameras, but we are getting it all together. Solo in it tonight, everybody. As they go down the backstretch, we are still rocking Davino in that 1st lane. The 2nd lane looks like that Home Depot truck is trying to get it all spun up and caught up to these guys. They are heading into the middle of 3 and 4. 2 by 2 by 2. And we are with the action all the way. If they make it to the white flag and there is no caution, then next person who passes the start-finish line will be the winner of this race, as we have hit the final lap of the Wagoner Welding 150. We do have a wreck in the back between the 29 and the 66 truck. They will be out of contention for the rest of this unless there is a wreck up front. We are side by side. Mickey Davino gets a little loose, collects it. He's being pushed by Dale and Mike Adamson. The 45 does have a run down the backstretch, and Dalton Steele, he does not have any help at this moment, but he is making it work with the side draft and that bit of damage. They're coming through 3. Mickey continues to hold it. They are coming to the checkered flag out of 4. Mickey's still holding it, coming into the tri-oval, followed by Dale and Mike. Will they have anything for him, or will they just push him to the wind? 3 wide, racing for 4th, and our winner is Mickey Davino. Mickey Davino is the winner of the Wagoner Welding 150, and we will have his interview coming up shortly. Congratulations to Mickey Davino in that number 8 car. Man, what a finish. That was amazing. So happy for Mickey. So proud of Dale and Mike helping push him to the win of this race. All of these guys are amazing. Wow. What a race, everybody. What a race. That was fantastic. Everybody up here making sure they give the love around, and we will have the results popping up for you. Well, that is practice results, so let's make sure we get race results for you. All right, here we go. So our race results here. Wagner Welding 150 non-points race at Talladega Motor Speedway. Our winner tonight is Mickey DeVino, followed by Dale Adamson and Mike Adamson. James Wagner has finished fourth, with Steven Shue in fifth, Tim Richardson sixth, Jeff Scott is in the seventh, John Houston eighth. In the ninth, we have Dalton Steele, and in 10th, we have Chris Ramsey. And if you guys haven't noticed, these guys are all doing awesome. And we are going to let Mickey DeVino burn it down. He's got to find the first gear, everybody, so give him some time. Mickey may be doing an old school Tony Stewart and doing a slow lap around the track in the reverse direction, letting all of those fans know he appreciates them for coming out. All of these guys waiting on the infield for him, letting him know that they are here for him through all of his battle, everything he's had to deal with. And all of these guys lined up for him and the infield. These guys are amazing. You don't get to see it too much where a league will come together, rev it up for him, let him know that we appreciate him sticking it out with us. And he finally gets that burnout going, and we will try and get you guys a zoomed in view of the 8 car as he makes those burnouts. All right. Well, I will be right back. We are going to get the interviews all set up. Please stick around for the interview. You guys do not want to miss the Mickey DeVino win interview. All right, everybody. Well, first off, we have to go with our third place driver who not only helped this man get to the front, but he took his time all the way from the back, making it up to the front. Himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mike Adamson. Man, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, having fun.
Well, we noticed that you and Dale worked together to get Mickey that win. You guys were rolling in the back of the beginning of the race, and you guys really did an awesome thing pushing Mickey to that win.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was a lot of fun working with Dale tonight, playing with him, and you know, like I said, we stayed in the back. We just kind of hung out, stayed out of trouble.
Well, I want to mention that you guys are pretty regular around here, and it being a non-points race, what did you think about the racing out there tonight?
I'm sorry, say that again?
With it being a pretty crazy off week of points and putting this Talladega together, how did you think the racing went on track tonight?
Oh, I loved it. I enjoyed it a lot. You know, just like I said, kept Dale in check, trying to keep us out of trouble and be there at the end.
Well heard, man. Well, is there anybody out there that you'd like to thank tonight?
Oh, I thank my wife as always, my son, the league, y'all putting this on, all the guys back at the shop that watch me week in and week out. Just enjoy a lot of fun tonight.
Well, it was good to hear from you, man. I hope very much get some good luck next week, and thanks for showing up.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right, and our next half of the Adamson duo has found himself all the way up into second place, and he's also our biggest mover factually on track, Mr. Dale Adamson. How'd your race go, man?
Well, first and foremost, thank you. But the race went kind of well. I mean, considering walking into a non-points race, considering it's all-star, it's meant to have fun, and I absolutely had a ball seeing all the amazing paints and everything. But the race went well. I was kind of hoping to have a plan, just lay in the back there as you saw at the start of the race. But later on, throughout halfway through the race, I was starting to move up and take a chance, take a gamble to go up there at least and help out.
Yeah, man, you had a fast truck throughout most of the night, and I watched you get a little beat and banged throughout the night. But man, the duo of you guys are awesome. Every week you guys show up, you fight hard, you make your way to the front, and always seems like you guys are right there fighting. And finally to get a 2-3 out of you guys, how awesome was that for you?
Honestly, to me, being the teenager out of all this and him being my dad, like, honestly, it's a very special moment for, people at home to take this in. Like, this is valuable time to me, and it means something for me and him to finish on a podium spot, and I couldn't thank him enough to keep me up there in P2 to give Mickey the win here tonight at Talladega.
Well, it's good to see you and him up front, and it's always great to see you guys coming out. But the most important thing of the night, is there anyone out there that you want to thank?
First and foremost, I just want to thank you guys for the amazing broadcast, and just want to thank Ruff-Neck-Racing for putting on an amazing race tonight, especially with all the drivers. Want to thank them too, and just want to say thanks to my dad for pushing me and helping me there, and the rest of everybody else watching, family, friends of mine.
Well, we're excited to see you back hopefully next week, and hopefully see you in that winner's circle here soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, and our final interview of the night. You guys heard him at the beginning of the race. He was very nervous for this, but Mickey went out there. He got the win, finished P1, led a bunch of laps. Mickey, how was it for you, man?
Okay, just got back in my chair.
Oh.
The guys were great. They gave me the win. I wish I deserved it better.
Well, I just want to let you know that the Adamson brothers were very happy to at least push you to the win, but you also held first place for a really long time. And yes, they might have been helping you out a bit, but I can tell you, with you leading the pack, it definitely kept it cleaner for those first 32 laps, because we didn't hit a real caution until lap 32.
That's pretty wild at Talladega. That's pretty wild right there.
Well, I let you speak the truth before the race. I'll let you speak the truth now. Is there anyone out there that you want to thank?
I want to thank our sponsor. I know it's the welder, but I don't know his name.
Oh, that is Mr. James Wagner Welding.
Jamie Wagner. Thank you, Mr. Jamie Wagner. And I will be giving you a donation to help you out in this endeavor of yours.
Well, we appreciate you. I hope this isn't the last time we get to talk. I look forward to, I hope we can see you in the future, and congratulations on your win tonight, man.
Yeah, it'd be nice to make one more race, but I ain't going to entertain that thought on purpose.
Well, much love to you and your family there, Mickey, and hopefully you go out the way you want to, man.
Oh yeah, one more thing. This ride here, my son's gonna take it over. MJ. And he'd like to race with you fellas if he gets a chance. I think Andrew knows him.
Well, you let him know that the number 8 is reserved for him, and he is more than welcome to hop into that seat as soon as he wants to.
He's one of them mechanics. He sometimes he won't make it because he got to work, keep you guys on the road.
Yep. Yep. Well, you have a good night, Mickey. It was great talking to you. We're going to have one last member that did not finish on the podium come speak some words for Mr. Mickey Davino himself. Tim, the floor is yours, my boss.
What's up, Kyle?
Not much, man.
You got me?
Yep, we do. You're live, and they're ready to hear you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, this race is 100% dedicated to Mickey. The guy's been great. He's been a very loyal driver. He shows up to every race. Never hear a complaint from the guy. Tonight's the most I've heard him talk since he joined the league. and from all of the admins, from my uncle, the primary sponsor, James Wagoner. We just want to say that it's been a pleasure having him here. We hope to see him in some more races. And he's just a great guy, man. Like, you can't ask for a better driver in a league. Somebody that just comes in, he shows up to every race. You never hear anything from the guy in a negative way. He shows up, he races, he shuts it down. It's drivers like him are hard to come by, and I'm trying not to get emotional talking about it, because I mean he's a part of the league. He's like family. You know, it's like these guys all say, we try to build a brotherhood here, and you race with these guys twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes more than that. You start getting close with each other, and when you get news like Mickey's got, it's tragic. I hate it. So that's really all I got, Kai. I just wanted to come in and say a few words about Mickey, what a great guy he is, and how thankful we are to have him here in Ruff-Neck. And wish him nothing but the best, and we hope that we can see him on the track again this season.
Well, just so you guys are on board, Mickey was super excited. He got an interview twice in one night, and loves seeing him show up every week. He's got a midst of a little youngin that's planning on taking over the number 8 for him, and I told him that we would reserve the 8 for him when he decides to show up and race alongside us. And I'm sure that Mickey is very thankful to the Adamson brothers for getting him across that line and being in this brotherhood that we started over here at Ruff-Neck.
Oh, absolutely. Happy to have him. He's been great. I can't stress that enough. What a great guy he's been. Wish him nothing but the best, as I've said over and over. Much love to you, Mickey, and your family. We hope to see you on the track again. Congratulations on your win. I'm sure you will have a trophy on the way probably tomorrow. So be looking for that in the mail, and much love from the admin team. Thanks, Kai.
Of course. Have a good night, man. Appreciate you. Well, that'll be it for this broadcast from Talladega. We are very thankful that you guys showed up, stuck with us through the race, enjoyed some Talladega racing. We are back points racing next week at Charlotte Motor Speedway on August 14th. We will be 100 laps there. Show up, have a good time. Make sure you guys subscribe, let you know when those races are coming. Plan is to have those notifications out a day ahead of time. On another note, make sure you guys go give all of the sponsors some love. If you're in the league, if you're not, if you wish to join, find the Facebook, Ruff-Neck-Racing. Make sure you guys join, send a message, teach them, have someone teach you how to use iRacing, all that good stuff. From the broadcast booth at K&S Sim Productions, peace out.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Loma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett Low. 4 wide at the stripe. For all he's worth here on this outside line, neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out?
Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron. Drag race to the line. It's so close to call.